Hi Pisces, you're going through a healing that is emotional healing. You gotta hear, when you heal your heart of its ancient pain or past pains emotionally, you will receive new love and new conditions. So Pisces, how do we heal emotionally? I have a spread of the tarot here and a few oracles as well that I will share with you. We've seen lately a situation very intense, definitely twin flame energy. Now here it's not talking specifically about twin flame, but it's talking about a very specific mirroring of a feminine and a masculine, both of them with cups. The masculine has this 4 of cups and the feminine this 5 of cups. Now look, the masculine here is looking at the 3 cups that are standing and is not satisfied, is not okay. Why? Because as you can see here in the 5 of cups, the feminine has put down the 3 cups. So those cups here are standing for the masculine and are dropped for the feminine. Chances are that the feminine has left the situation or had to cut communication. Now, the feminine is in this 5 of cups, which is looking at the past, regrets, did I do the right thing? But she's not seeing that there's 2 cups standing. So there is still union here, there is love, there is presently no lack of love. But she's not seeing it, she's focused on what has fallen. Now here in the masculine side here, we see that a cup is given by the divine, by the siren here. And this cup, this siren, could be the feminine. The feminine that has given the chance, the opportunity to this masculine in some ways to perhaps clear out ways in which he acted or didn't act in the past. And so there is an opportunity given here for him to make this a success. But is this masculine gonna see the opportunity? Is it gonna actually stand up and look, okay, what am I gonna do about it now? So the feminine needs to see that the love is here. If you were doubting, if you have doubts of the masculine ever changing his emotions or whichever, here we're seeing that it's here, it's present, very present. But the masculine needs to do something about it. And in both of those cases, there needs to be an emotional healing in a way that the 2 of them need to focus on the bright side, on the sun. We have here the sun that came with the Wheel of Fortune. Only when both of them realize the blessing of this situation will the wheel turn. There's good luck, there is abundance coming through, the wheel is turning. But both of them need to see, recognize within themselves, heal what the situation is showing them deep down. Now here on the masculine side, we saw a King of Wands, so fire sign, in the 8 of Sword energy, which is self-sabotage, perhaps doing everything kind of wrong, you know, taking the wrong actions, maybe trusting the wrong people, being their own prison. But what we see at the end of his row here is a tower. Now all of that over mental self-sabotage energy needs to go and crumble. There needs to be a new way of doing things. Now the feminine is finishing with the Empress. The feminine needs to get into the unconditional love within herself. Recognize that it was always here. Find the peace in the heart. Maybe there needs to be a lot of tears shed in the Five of Cups. But then once that's done, we find that there is a peace that settles deep down at the soul level. And in that way, we have soul cage here. Rescue, escape from captivity and restriction. So there seems to be a masculine who wants to rescue his feminine, but perhaps they need to rescue themselves first. They need to recognize their own ego issues, because being so much in the King of Wands energy, being in the Lion energy, they have not recognized what is inside them, what is missing. They have not turned their head and seen what the divine is teaching them. And so in that sense, for the feminine needs to also recognize that she will not be saved by the masculine. She will save herself. Emotionally, she needs to get to the independence, right? So here in the middle row, you had the World. And in this particular deck, you have a lion, a deer, an eagle, and a man here. Number 4 could be very significant for some of you. The foundation, the stability needs to be found in this relationship within both of each other. Now, I would say the deer has been you, the feminine Pisces, where you have been very gentle, perhaps too much. The masculine has been too much in the I'm the king, I'm the jungle, too much ego. And so there needs to be a rebalancing here. But we see that here the masculine has a message, but both of them need to see the bigger perspective and learn from what was experienced in the past and let the past go, like the card was saying, in the emotional healing, so that a new page can start with this relationship or others. The World could mean traveling. We did see here that traveling could be good for you, Pisces. A travel, a trip could change your life in a positive way. So that might resonate for some of you. Perhaps going for a few days trip or longer, changing circumstances, your physical geography can move your thought. As you move your body, you move your thought as well. And the World has to do, with this traveling, but also you guys need to close the chapter, close this past chapter, so you can be renewed into a new, both of you. Because at the center of the read here, we have the Ace of Sword, which is victory, and we have the same eagle here. Only when both of you see the bigger perspective is there the divine clarity that comes through. And 10 of Pentacles, happy family, commitment. So there is a way that is possible to create that in this situation, but the way to do it needs to come from emotional healing and recognizing what needs to be done differently moving forward for both of them. Because this Five of Swords has been the two of you being too much in your head, too much mental energy, air energy, and that doesn't solve anything. When we see this Five of Swords and we add the Ace of Swords, that's Six of Swords, that's going towards calmer waters. Both of you need to get out of the mind and get into this internal healing so that you can move forward into a new cycle that is more tranquil, more serene, and more balanced for the both of you. Now, at the bottom of the deck, what we saw is, of course, a Temperance, so that's definitely rebalancing. patience as well. We did see here that perhaps in the winter you will get answers to your affirmations. So in a few months' time, 6 months, right? But here, as there's a rebalancing, as there is water, emotional healing, emotional rebalancing here, you see the 2 cups, she's pouring into each other. We saw the 2 cups before, right? In the 5 of cups for the feminine, pouring into each other. The 2 of them need to pour into each other, rebalance what wasn't balance, if that makes sense. But it's really find the neutral point. That's what it is. It's when there is a disequilibrium, we need to see where there's a compromise and where there's freedom that needs to be given, space and compromise. It's this thin balance within a relationship, but again, that starts with them. We have a Knight of Cups here, definitely a masculine here that is coming with a message of love, and there's victory. So this is overall very positive, but again, this victory in love has to come after this emotional deepening, healing, acknowledgement, getting into more consciousness for both of them in different ways. Because before we saw a Knight of Wands, right? In and out, very fiery, very passionate, and 7 of Wands, not giving up, being defensive, not wanting to recognize the ego, the patterns. But that we saw needs to crumble. It needs to crumble big time. And here we have the Hermit. This masculine needs to go inside and recognize and shed the light on what wasn't seen before. That's the only way. And find the moderation. Because all this passion, all of that overwhelm didn't help the situation. They were just running on ego, and emotions, but then there was no true stability. Remember number 4? So this moderation, this patience needs to happen here, so that both of you get into the Pentacle energy, which is more grounded. And look, 6 of Swords, to go towards calmer waters here. And that, of course, demands a lot of strength. I think that for the feminine to walk away, 8 of Cups here, demanded a huge strength for her. She had to walk away from her lion, from the roar, from the passion. But that's because, look at all the roses here. All this passion need to be converted into deeper emotion when it comes to the masculine. And that means dropping the ego to get to a deeper emotional place. And as he does so, the feminine needs to get into this unconditional love for herself and stay positive, right? Look forward, not backwards. Okay? Now, we did see here new work. So that's for you, Pisces. Focus on your work in a new manner. Try it differently. Try things differently in a positive way and successful way. So very important right now to stay focused on your pentacle, on your work, on your power, on your stuff, right? You needing the feminine, Pisces, to get into more of this empowerment, like we saw yesterday, whereas in the meantime, the masculine needs to get into more emotional depth, go more internally. You need to go more externally, more work, more doing. He needs to go into more being. Okay? Now also we got here, defend to the end the worthwhile, and she has tears here, and we have an owl here. That's clarity in darkness. Defend to the end the worthwhile. That means that as you harness your power, Pisces, you will never ever give up on your truth. The Ace of Swords is also that truth, that clarity, that divine truth. That is your soul. You cannot ever again, for passion, for love, however strong it is, and however deep and the one time felt it is, there needs to be a non-compromising way of living from your heart and protecting your heart in that way. Your soul needs to rise, and it cannot be walked on by a masculine, and that's the lesson here. Okay, Pisces, so I love you. I hope this was helpful, and I will see you very soon.